trash hasn't been picked up yet. First motor vlog. This is gonna be interesting. Alright, well, this is hopefully the beginning of quite a few of these. I have been wanting to make content on the bike for longer than I wanted the bike, I guess. Is the half the reason I got the bike was because I enjoyed the content, not necessarily the. You might take that the wrong way. You might think, oh look, it's just one of them guys on TikTok that saw the jigsaw brow or something and was like, yeah, he wants to make wheelie content and stuff like that. No. Think like, I don't know, Yami Noob crossed with original Top Kit. Like, I wanted to do these kind of like, you just pick a topic about cars or engines or anything of that sort, and you talk about it, but on the bike. It's like instead of it's like we talk about something cool, right? About like motorbikes and stuff like that, but instead of the Minecraft like parkour video underneath, it's just bike. I think it's a little bit cooler. I'm not hating on Minecraft, but you know, bike. So today I guess we're not really going to talk about anything like specific to cars, or specific types of bikes or anything like that. I kind of want to talk about bikes in general, because I have just started learning how to ride a bike, right? So I am about to be on month 3, I think, maybe. I've put 4,000 miles, coming up on 4,000 miles onto bikes. So like I'm starting to not that I know how to ride now. I don't know how to ride. You know, I can anyone can do this. This is like, does your brain work? Yes. Okay, cool. You could do this. I've just started to begin to learn how to corner properly. I could get some good cornering stuff down. I'm confident on the bike enough to be able to start doing that. Go on. Thank you. I mean, look at this. That just like, mwah. Lovely. Yeah, so I don't have a lot of experience on the bike itself and the riding and stuff like that. About 4,000 miles worth of riding. But I have got like an interesting perspective that I feel like a lot of other people don't really talk about sometimes, in that starting to ride. You get a lot of people, you know, you look up, what's it like to ride a motorcycle, or how do you ride a motorcycle, stuff like that, and it's always people that have like, they've been riding, right? They're already used to riding, they've been riding for 6 years, they're making content on it, blah blah blah. Not many people make content on like the very beginning, so we're going to talk about it. The MSF course is fucking awesome. It's actually so much fun. I did mine in like 30 degrees, so like there just is no excuse for not doing it. I hear a bike. Oh, there he is. There's no excuse for not doing it, you know. It is just an awesome course. It taught me a lot. It was not like redundant or anything. It just the instructor was great. I got his contact. He was able to tell me, like, I could ask him a million questions. I'm already pretty good at driving with stick, so coming to the motorcycle, I was already, you know, kind of attuned to clutch and shifting. And so I kind of got that head start, but there was a lot of people in my class that didn't have that, and he was great with them. He was great, and I you know, I got to help out a little bit too, but he was like super patient with them. Some people were really struggling with it, and they ended up making it through the class, even though I thought, ooh, they might not make it through just because they were struggling so much. So if you're worried about the MSF course, fucking go for it. So yeah, the MSF course, it just, like, I feel like a lot of people skip it. I've been around two other people that have started riding around the same time I have, and one of them almost didn't do the MSF course. I think kind of got that vibe because it is kind of a hassle. You have to set aside pretty much a whole weekend for just in case. And you start looking at bikes, and you can just go to a dealership, get the bike, and there you go, you're off. And I don't think, I mean, you can do it. Just like there's another discussion there about the starter bike thing. I don't know if I've been riding long enough to talk about it, but maybe we will at some point. But you know, some people can start on a 600, some people can't. Some people need to take the MSF course, some people don't. The MSF course is more so for most people just a legal thing. Because if you don't do the MSF course and then you go get a bike, you're like 10 times less likely to go do the MSF course, because now you've got absolutely no reason. You could just, you walk into your garage, go get on the bike. Mentally, like, you're done. You don't need to worry about it. And trust me, that's how it's going to be. So you just got to force yourself to go do that MSF course first. Riding is going to be a lot more fun if you're not worried. Like, you're not worried about, am I going to get pulled over and impounded because I can't legally ride this bike. Another thing I want to talk about, this is like, I'm not shitting on the community at all, because the community is great. Obviously, like, in this 4,000 miles, I have like practically lived at a buddy's house every evening to meet up and go ride out with some people. But, big but, there are some fucking stupid people. I've been to a couple meets now. This is DFW, so there's a lot of Fuel City meets, and you go to them Fuel City meets, and there are some beautiful bikes there. They are absolutely awesome bikes. You just sit there and stare at them for hours. But a lot of those bikes are owned by people that don't like bikes, they like attention. And so that like, I mean, you do you. There's a difference between, on an empty highway and you're doing wheelies with some buddies or something. That's not attention seeking. That's, you're doing something fun. It's a little scuff between the highway and there's people and blah blah blah. But we all want to have fun on the bikes. But then you've got those guys that will go to these certain meets and stuff, and you see them, and they've got no plates, they're all cameraed and mic'd up, they've got a car following them that's got... Did you just try to block me? Was that like... Okay. Yeah, they've got like all these cars with them that have got radars, and they're watching out for helicopters and stuff like that, and it's like, it's cool, but it's not a great crowd. Like, if you're gonna do that, like, you're just risking so much, and I just don't think it's ever gonna be worth it, to be honest. And then you've got your group of people that are gonna pull up on some clapped old 1000s and 600s that just are gonna sit there and rev bomb. Like, we pulled up to a meet at motorcycle dealership not too long ago here in DFW, and I'm showing. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna see all these bikes. Like I barely know what's going on. Like I'm gonna get so much information from people. We're talking about individual bikes, so I can find out what bike I want to try next and stuff like that. And you get there, and we can't take our helmets off. We had to use Cardo to talk because there were so many people just rev bombing the entire time. And it's just like, and even people that don't have, a nice sounding exhaust and don't have a nice sounding bike are still just absolutely rev bombing. And you can't hear anything. I just want to talk to people about their bikes and shit, and be part of the community. You feel like literally can't. Being part of the community is pulling up and watching those fucking crazies just sit there and spam the throttle. Not a fan of that. So I think for people that are getting into motorcycles, to be honest, most of those meets, especially the big ones, you avoid. Unless it's got like a really major sponsor, it's at like a racetrack or something, or it's on the other end of the spectrum where it's a tiny meet and it just got posted on Facebook, and it's Billy and Steve that they've got like a little tent and a speaker. Those meets are cool because usually those are the actual enthusiasts. Those are the people, and go to a car and bike meet. If you go to just a bike meet, you're going to get people rev bombing. If you go to a car and bike meet, you're going to see a lot more. You'll get a lot more likely to go to a meet that has more enthusiasts and people that are wanting to talk, and people are walking around checking out all the cars and stuff, because you all like the same shit. If you're a motorcycle enthusiast, you are a car enthusiast in some way. I mean, not like the exact same way, but you're going to be interested in at least something. So just go to the car and bike meets. They're always going to be better. I've already met so many cool people. The smaller meets, it's awesome. It's crazy, and there's more people at the bigger meets, obviously, but you can't. There's no can't wiggle your way in there to talk to anyone. No one really seems like they want to talk. It's a nightmare. But not to be gloomy. Not for that. Yeah, so let's talk about starter bikes for a second. So I've got this 765 RS Triumph, and I bought this. I was originally looking at a Z900, which may also be just like a little bit above what you would consider a beginner bike. It is above what you would consider a beginner bike, but I have, you hear I've got 2 years of dirt bike experience, and I've driven this before and I've driven that before. I think they're kind of valid, to be honest. A lot of people give them shit, and people say, oh no, it doesn't matter how much dirt bike experience you've got. I think it does, because it's not that you've ridden the machine. Anyone who says that that your dirt bike experience doesn't matter, especially if you've got a lot of it, your dirt bike experience doesn't matter when you're buying a motorcycle, don't take that into consideration, is kind of just stupid, to be honest. It depends on the person still. You can have one person that's got 6 years of experience with dirt bike and one person that's got 8 years worth of experience on a dirt bike. But the guy that's got 6 years of experience might be really good with his risk management, or really good. He's just a sensible rider. He understands when to take a risk, when not to. He knows. He knows self-control, because he's had to do that for jumps or something. He's got experience with that sort of thing. It's not necessarily his experience with riding fast or anything like that. Now I would, if I had to give a motorcycle to someone with 10 years experience on a dirt bike but had a bad track record for, wrecks or just like known issues with going too fast or pushing the limits too much, stuff like that. And then a person who's got 2 years experience or a year experience, but I've seen him ride and he rides sensibly, and there's no I've seen him come up to a gap between cars and go, no, that's probably not a good idea, and just stop. And even though the people are doing it, I'm gonna choose that guy. I think there's a lot of that gets put into the decision on what your first bike's gonna be, you know. So for me, it's not dirt bikes, it was cars. I've been driving an STI for 5 years now, and I drive it pretty hard, and we just recently started driving the piss out of it. I'm going to do that a lot more, and we'll probably see that in the same place this gets posted. But that kind of, that's the same thing. It's not really motorcycle experience, so I'm still at a disadvantage there. But it's a lot of risk management and a lot of handling a vehicle and knowing how weight transfers and stuff like that. A lot of people start riding motorcycles and they don't understand that at all. So yes, if you've got, Tyler with his broccoli hair has gone, wow, that black R3 looks so cool, or that black sport bike looks so cool on TikTok, I bet he gets all the girls. And he goes to a dealership and he goes and buys a bike, I would suggest the R3, because he's probably not, if he doesn't have experience riding a bike, he doesn't have experience riding cars, he's never used a manual or a clutch before, he's never owned anything fast, he drives like daily's a Honda Civic. I think that he should start on a smaller bike. Maybe you still go for the 600, but you're a human being in America, you do what the fuck you want. But R3, ZX4, stuff like that, there are other options of really cool bikes. I missed my turn, you idiot. There are a lot of options for other cool bikes. You don't have to get some super fast bike, and they hold their value really well. So when time comes you want more speed, you probably won't lose that much money on whatever bike you get, assuming you wreck it and stuff like that. Even still, we were selling bikes from like 2001 for 4 or 5 grand already. Hobo. Yeah, I think if you've got someone who's experienced in some sort of motorsport or something like that, and close to it, 600 is not the craziest thing.